It's so much on my mind. It's so heavy on my heart. And everything is just jammed together. It's so much on my mind as it relates to this particular subject. And I was saying, when I got assaulted by that big old black tranny a few weeks ago, I decided to go into the gun store because I said I need to get me a lot of guns, like a lot of people been doing, collecting all these guns. I used to didn't understand, but now I understand. Now it makes sense. You need a gun, and it's a sad situation. We are having to protect ourselves and weaponize ourselves against our own people in our own black community who we supposed to love. Other black people have become our enemy. And then we give all these other people who are a threat against our community a pass. And when I asked those men to call the police, they just sat there looking. And I was in total disbelief. I couldn't believe it. Once upon a time, men would never let a woman get attacked, regardless of the circumstances. But now, men, black men, are allowed, any kind of man of any race, he's allowed to attack a black woman because we have been devalued in so many ways and on purpose, intentionally. So now, when they see a black woman being attacked in public, they just look at us like, oh, it's just some trash. It don't matter. But if I was a white woman, nobody would have tolerated that in that business. Nobody would have tolerated that. But because I'm a black woman, in society's eyes, I don't matter. All I'm good for is twerking and some sex. We have been devalued. That made me cry. And then when I called the police, they were not concerned. They were more, no, I'm not lying. I'm not lying to you. They were more concerned with getting me out of their way so they can go in and get them some breakfast. I'm not lying to you. And the police told me, ma'am, this is not our jurisdiction. When you called a non-emergency number, we was on our way over here to get some breakfast. And they went in that store and got them some breakfast. And I was still standing there in disbelief and crying. And assaulted by that big old black tranny. My God, I never thought I'd see the day. The police was more interested in going in that store and getting them some breakfast. They didn't give a damn about what I was saying to them. They told me to call somebody else. And when I called somebody else, the police dispatcher, she was asking me about COVID-19. She was trying to give me some screening. She was more interested in giving me some screening about COVID. Have I been around somebody with COVID? Ma'am, are you for real? Do you see? Do you see? Do you see? Me as a black woman, I don't matter in the eyes of this society because we have been devalued. We no longer hold any virtue in the eyes and in the hearts and in the minds of a lot of people in this society. And when I called the other police, when the other police finally came, they weren't really concerned. They listened to me, but they weren't really concerned. And I could see in their body language and their body disposition and their energy, they weren't really concerned. But if I was a white woman, maybe they would have taken me more seriously. Maybe they would have went out of their way to get the footage from the traffic camera and find out what is the tag number of that big black tranny that attacked me and locate him and have a whole all points bulletin across the city, and they wouldn't arrest it until they found his location and hold him accountable. But he was given a pass. He was given a pass. Because I don't matter to them as a black woman. That wasn't a state of emergency. But I can imagine if I was white, it would have been different. It would have been handled differently. And when I went to the gun store a day or two later, because I said I cannot afford to allow these type of situations to happen again, because the black community is running amok. The black community is out of control. The black community is a dangerous place to be. And I don't have any other choice, because we are existing in modern day redlining, which is housing discrimination. And all across the United States, they have orchestrated things in such a way where it's almost impossible to live in a decent neighborhood that's safer if you are not willing to pay a higher price. And they have reduced the wages and have set the wages at a certain rate while they raising the price of everything